Hey everyone, I've been working from home as a freelance video editor for about a year now. I make enough money to pay all my bills, and I even have enough to invest in my future. The best part of it is I'm making content I enjoy, and I'm in an industry I love, which is gaming and esports. So I'm no longer working a 9-to-5 job for some company making content I'm not proud of or passionate about, just doing it to get by. Now I'm actually making something that can go on my portfolio. It's content I really enjoy, and it's in a direction I want to take my life, and gaming is blowing up, so I'm really excited that freelance editing has opened these doors for me and there's this opportunity. So in this video I want to talk about what got me started, the steps I took to be safe before I quit my job and became a freelance video editor full-time where I work from home, why I think personally it was successful or it worked for me, what I've learned so far, and what steps I think other people should take if they want to follow in the same path and work from home as a freelance video editor. So let's get into it. To give myself some credibility, I've been doing this since November 2019, at least full-time where I wasn't working any other job. I've worked for all these gaming companies making content for them, and I've even gone down to North Carolina to work for Mr. Beast for a month or two. I've worked for a lot of big companies, big names, and people in the gaming and YouTube space. So I have my experience, I want to share that with you guys. I even am working with a new game on content I can't talk about yet, but it should be coming out hopefully in the next few weeks, and I'm super excited about that. So gaming has always been my passion, and I always wanted to go towards making gaming content. At least gaming content has always been my passion, even more than gaming. So if you know of any Halo montages, you probably recognize the name Hastings. I did Halo montages for Snipe Down, Frosty. I've done lots of big Halo montages, and I always did that on my spare time because I wanted to make gaming content, and that's what I found fun. While working full-time, I actually went to film school, and I've been working in the film industry for about 5 years now, working as assistant editor, VFX editor, stuff like that, but it was never on content I was passionate about. I've worked on some Netflix movies, and I've worked on a Disney TV show, which is really cool, and it's good to get on your resume, but it was never content I was super excited about, which is why I was always doing gaming content on the side for YouTube and for other companies. And I decided I really want to take the next few steps and quitting my full-time job and making gaming content my full-time job. I'm going to quickly go through the steps I took to make sure I was safe before I quit my job to go freelance editing full-time, but I made 2 other videos going into more depth and detail on these steps. I'll link them down in the description, but you should watch those if you want more detail in these steps here I'm about to list off. First thing I did is I wanted to know how much money I needed, so I had to track how much it costs for me to live month to month. And in doing so, I also tried to live more frugally, save money, and basically lower my expenses all around. So I track all my expenses on Google Spreadsheet. I mentioned this before, super easy to do. You can even get apps like Mint and stuff like that. In my Patreon, you can use the exact spreadsheets I use, but really you can just make your own spreadsheets. It's super easy. Just Google how to make an expenses and liabilities spreadsheet, or use an app like Mint. The next step was to save up a safety cushion or emergency fund. So you might want to save about 6 months of expenses. So once I had my number, how much it cost for me to live a month, I saved up that times 6 or a little more just because of everything going on in the world. It's better to be safer, and you really don't know what's going to happen. Now, before those steps, technically, I was building a fan base and building a following when I was making content for a while, getting my name out there on YouTube and collaborating with these Halo pros and other gaming organizations. So you start building kind of a name for yourself and a following. This can take years or it can be fast, but it really depends how good your content is and how you handle yourself professionally. But you need to build up somewhat of an audience or a fan base, or at least you need to get your name out there, I mean to say. Next, you're going to want to make a portfolio so people can see all of your best work. This isn't just having a YouTube channel. I don't think that's the way to go. You should really make your own website. And in my other videos, I go into more detail about this, but you should make your own website, and you can have your best pieces and really kind of tailor it to the content you want to make. So if on my website, I have gaming content at the top, then at the bottom, there's more YouTube and normal content. Now, the trickiest step is you want to already have consistent work coming in. So this means you're going to have to do freelance editing while you're working full-time at another job, because you want to build up some clients and you want to get the money flowing in just to see if this is possible and how consistent it is, because obviously this work isn't consistent, and you have to kind of see how the money coming in is, what your rates are, and if you can do this. So you want to build up a slow list of clients that are at least looking for somewhat consistent work, and you want to check with them, make sure that they have more work coming in. After I checked off all these steps, I was ready to take the next step, which is actually ending my job or not renewing my contract for another film and going full-time as a freelance editor. Now, first I want to talk about why I think it worked for me. For me, I'm in a pretty niche category of freelance editing where I'm focusing on gaming and more specifically professional gaming content. I'm not doing the crazy montages. I'm focusing on clean professional gameplay with nice clean professional cinematics and editing. And that really has a market, especially for organizations within gaming and gaming companies, because they want their stuff to look good, but they also want an editor that can relate to kids and can make content for a younger audience. So they might not go for someone who has more experience in the film industry when they see I've made several montages and other YouTube videos that are more appealing to a younger audience and will get their attention better and is kind of more tailored to what they're looking for. So I believe that really had a big role. And with the gaming industry blowing up and esports becoming bigger and bigger and gaming getting bigger and bigger, there's more money in the scene, more money in creating content and kind of growing together. So I really got lucky in being in basically this little niche category of editing before it started really blowing up, and who knows how crazy it's gonna get. So that is one thing I do want to attribute kind of getting lucky on. And basically I picked the right categories, which is something I love, but it is blowing up and it's been working out. And these are a few of the lessons I've learned so far. So number one is you never know where your next client or your next job is going to come from. So because of that, you got to treat everyone as if it's a professional environment. Basically, you want your Twitter, your LinkedIn, everything like that to be very professional. The way you talk to people, the way you deal with your current clients. You want to be on time, you want to be professional, and you want to put your best content and quality into things, because usually people who you're working with are who are going to recommend you for other clients. And your body of work on your portfolio, like I said, on the website you should make, is really going to be what people see before they hire you. So you want to make sure everything is very professional, clean, sleek, and the best you can possibly make it. Because like I said, you never know where your next client is going to come from, who introduced them to you, or where they've seen your work. Touching back on the website, I think having your own portfolio on the website is more important or bigger than you think it is, because that basically stands as a high quality resume in the digital era that we have now that anyone can look at, especially when they're typing in video editor or freelance editor. They see your work, and this just shows them your best content, and it's basically like a little recruiter working for you the whole time, where you're not even going out looking for clients, but clients might be looking for people and they'll see that. So just link to that from your Twitter and LinkedIn so people can really see like a tailored section of your best videos. Another lesson I learned is working at home can actually be very hard on your mentality. You might think it's a breeze, but you have to set your own hours. You have to put in the work. You can't relax. And I mean, you're in your bedroom, and then you're in your office, you're in your bedroom, your office, day in and day out. So you really need to like get out and go for walks and stuff and work on your own schedule and try to be healthy, because you can fall into slumps, and you want to make sure you're in a good mental state so you're not down or depressed about, working from home. I know with quarantine, people are kind of going through that right now, but freelance editing, it's the same thing, especially if you're working from home. You need to keep yourself motivated, and doing so is keeping yourself healthy. Another issue when working from home is you might put off projects a little bit, maybe not work some days or work less some days, and then when it's closer to the due date, you just grind it out. And I find that just doesn't help at all. What you want to do is put in some work every day, even if it's a lighter day. You want to make sure you have no 0% days. You're always putting in work, so you're not caught on one day where you need to grind everything out and you're stressing. So make sure you spread out your work and you're smart about it. This last tip, it might be one of the most important, but networking and your social interactions matter so much on how you get work and how people share you with other clients. You really want to learn how to have good social interactions and how you want to stay positive and get people to like you. It might sound corny, but it's very important. People really hire people they like rather than who's the best sometimes. So if you're in the position where you can network well, I know that people can't go out too much right now, but once you can, you really want to work on your social skills. There are some books I could recommend, but for now, just remember that your social skills and networking is one of the most important things, and one of the most important skills you should really have when trying to work for yourself and get clients. Now, what do I suggest people who want to follow in the same path as me or want to freelance video edit from home should do? Number one, you have to make content you enjoy. You should start off making content you're passionate about. That's the best content you will make, and that's the direction you want to go, is something you enjoy, right? So even on your spare time, you're making your little montages or your gaming videos or whatever kind of niche you're into, you should already be making those, because that's something you want to do. So first off is obviously making content you like. This goes into step 2, which is building your audience or getting your name out there. This goes hand in hand. The better content you put out and the more of it you put out, the larger chance there is for you to grow an audience and people to start understanding who you are and that you're an editor in the scene. Next step is using Twitter and LinkedIn, Connecting with people and being able to share your work and talk with other creators is very important, as I went over before with networking, and Twitter is the way to do that nowadays. So you should treat your Twitter as if it is a LinkedIn. You should keep it very professional, like I've said several times in several videos, and in this video a lot. Treat it as a networking work thing, basically. You interact with people, you talk with other creators, you follow different companies you want to work with, and people share your content and stuff you like. So make sure you're not spamming. I've had a problem with this before. I want to just share my videos. You can't always do that. Maybe share the top quality videos or ones you think are helpful to people or something like that. But you can't just keep spamming people. That'll really put people off. Make sure when you're using it, you're always thinking about, what if a client sees this in any of your videos or your texts or your replies, and use that mindset when posting on social media. Next step, like I mentioned before, you should make a website. You should make a professional looking website, either using Wix or Squarespace or something like that. I have more details in another video, which is linked down in the description, but having a professional website is very important. Next, if you're really taking this seriously and you want to work from home, but you don't have a lot of clients yet, you need to learn how to live frugally, how to budget, and how to track all your expenses. This is very important so you can understand the goals you need to get to and how safe you need to be. Like I said in the other videos, you need to track your expenses, you should save a lot, and you should try to lower how much it costs you to live a month. I find that is very important, and it gives you kind of a safety cushion when you quit your full-time job and start working from home. Next step is a little kind of to the side, but I think everyone should learn how to invest their money in the stock market or in real estate or something like that. You really want your money that you're getting to help you out in the future. And working from home, you can kind of have the time to really look at your money and track everything. So you should learn how to invest, and the stock market's a good place to start. It's a separate thing from obviously this video of freelance video editing, but it still is something when you're working for yourself you should consider, because everyone should know and consider and understand how to invest and how important it is in compound interest. So I kind of rambled on that, but you guys invest already, understand. Anyone who's not into investing, if you're over 18, you need to start now. The sooner you start, the better you'll be set up later in life. So investing, kind of like a separate thing, but very important in life nonetheless. Next, I would say try to get a mentor. Now, because I worked in the film industry for 5 years, I had people obviously working above me, and I made some good friends with some older people who work full time in the freelance industry, but they were really big into freelancing, and they helped me learn and understand basically what I need to do for my rate, and how I should be looking for clients, and how I should be looking for feedback, and basically what I want to set in my contracts and everything. So finding a mentor really gave me the confidence to kind of go out there, and hopefully with these videos I can try to mentor some of you. So if you have some questions, ask them down in the comments. Usually I get back to every comment, or I'll make videos on certain topics if you want, but I found that was super helpful for me, and I still hit him up every now and then just to talk about life, and maybe I'll get him on this channel one day and we'll go over a few of the suggestions and topics that I've talked about with him before. Next step is you want to have a backup plan. So if you have a car, you could think about delivering food on weekends or off days or slow days, or you really just want to have other ideas or safety nets in place that if you're not making enough money each month, you have these things you could go do. Think about something you could do part-time. Everyone's different. I haven't had to use any of these safety cushions, but I still think about them, because you should always be thinking about your money and the safety of it. The last two here are things I've said repeatedly in this video and in other videos, but the second last one is be professional. Treat everything as if it's work and your future client might be seeing it. Lastly, you want to make sure you're creating content you're proud of. You don't want to half-ass anything. You want to make sure it's the best it can be. That way you're happy with it, you're motivated to keep going, the client's happy, other people see it, they like it, they want more. If you just put your all into things, and they'll keep getting better and better, and then it'll be something you enjoy. If any of this has helped you, please subscribe to my channel. I want to go into more specifics about some of this freelance editing stuff, maybe how I manage my money as a freelancer, or how I specifically work with clients. I'm not too sure. Let me know down in the comments what you'd prefer first. Hopefully we can all learn and grow together, and maybe you guys will be able to work from home and make enough money to live off of it. Thanks everyone. It's been a longer video. I'm excited to make content like this, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.